everybody. Welcome back into the Black. I'm your host, Heather Cox. We are here today talking about entrepreneurship. It is a crazy ride, that entrepreneurship life. I wanted to make a correction to the second episode of Into the Black, where I started out saying, it's just me at the beginning of the episode. It's not just me. It's the amazing me. Right. The other day I was in my LinkedIn audio room on dark mode, LinkedIn, on Thursdays at 11 a.m. EST with my amazing co-host, Jane Clark. And we were in there and one of her friends and employees were in there, Kelsey, and she was one of the only people in there. And so she raised her hand, came on up onto the stage of the LinkedIn audio room. And I said, oh, it's just Kelsey. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, let me correct myself. And I got on mic and I was like, I'm so sorry. Let me just correct myself. It's not just Kelsey. It's the great Kelsey. It's the amazing Kelsey. Don't discount yourself. Don't just say it's just this or, oh, it's just that. Don't discount yourself. You're freaking amazing. My name is Heather Cox. We are Into the Black. And today we're talking about entrepreneurship. And that leads me discounting yourself and doubting yourself. That's kind of built in when you're an entrepreneur. It really is. I am from a family of entrepreneurs. I believe I have mentioned this story so many different ways, but it is it really is. Entrepreneurship is a part of my life and has been my entire life. I started my entrepreneur journey at the age of 21. But I was really involved with my mom's entrepreneur journey and seeing her grow through her business and me growing up watching her grow her business. It's a family affair, right? And I know I've mentioned this before, but family is really important. And so to have that built-in community of entrepreneurs, I think has been invaluable. A lot of people, obviously, y'all know me. I am a social media manager and strategist, been doing it for 15 years, also WordPress website design, but I've been leaning into the social media side of things. My mom has been a business owner, entrepreneur since, I don't even know, even before I was born. She created the Wallflower Gift Boutique, located in Delaware. And I just watched her growing up. At the front of our house, we had a storefront in our foyer. So my mom would tell people through postcards and just networking that, hey, I have this little store in the front of my house. Why don't you come check it out? And people would come to our house and she would have little craft shows and stuff. People would come to her house and buy her dried floral arrangements. And she entered a contest here in Delaware and she won the new, and I want to find this footage so bad. And I know my dad has it. Padre, you better go find that. in the attic with all of the old dusty things like the VCRs. Go find it, please. Go find the tape so we can watch that so I can use it. But my mom was on QVC because she won this contest about being one of the greatest designer, one of the newest up and coming designers. That's kind of how she got her start, right? I watched this. I watched her growing up, and I just think it's really, really cool to have that community built in, essentially. And like I said, not everybody has that. And it obviously brushed off on me and my sisters because all three of us, we don't like working for other people. We like being our own bosses. I said, I'm my own boss, been doing it for 15 years. My younger sister is the owner of, I don't even know how many ventures that she owns at this point. It might be 4. Please drop a comment, Kelly, if I'm wrong. There's Strawberry Fields. Then there is her artistry work, which is she does large scale mural installations and she does paintings and she sells them. And it's just super cool. She had her painting at the Smithsonian down in Washington, D.C., which I thought was baller. And then she has Millie Farms. And then she has this other farm that just opened. And there's so many to remember, Kelly. I apologize, but she's crushing it. Obviously, she's crushing it. That's what my younger sister does. And then my older sister, she is a music singer-songwriter. She does Celtic rock and, I don't even know. It's just so eclectic and just so unique. And she's coming back to the States actually for a tour throughout all of the really cool Celtic rock festivals and fairy festivals and Renaissance fairs. Definitely check that out. But yeah, like all of us, all of us have the entrepreneur bug. We watched it growing up. We saw my mom doing her thing. We helped my mom do her thing. Do you know how many cardboard boxes I had to break down while I was at her store? Even before that, going to the craft shows. I'm a really young kid going to these craft shows with my mom, the flower market and the ice cream festival and what is that? A Brandywine Arts Festival. There's just like every year we would just, and every month in the spring and summer months, we would just have so much fun doing all of that. I remember this one time I was at a craft show with my mom, helping her pack up, and I had a lollipop in my mouth and a bee stung me. Literally like walked up the stick and I saw it and I was like, I think I froze and then just like stung my lip because like I just wanted my candy. But yeah, good memories from those days of craft shows and pop-up fairs. And it was hard work but it was so invaluable, the information and the lessons that we learned by just experiencing it. And not everybody has that. Not everybody has that community. Not everybody is so lucky to have that community. Somebody pointed that out to me the other day, and like I may have taken it for granted a lot of the time, because literally not everybody has that built-in community where they could just call their mom and be like, hey, what do you think of this pricing structure? Or hey, Melissa, what do you think of the sound quality of my podcast? Which she says it's amazing. Thank you so much. See, the built-in community. I literally would have been shit out of luck with this podcast if it wasn't for my sister, because my older sister is the audio guru, the video guru. This stuff, the zooming and the videos and all of that stuff, I can edit and I could create on my phone. But when it comes to like external audio and just mics and sound checks, I'm just like, what? I don't know how to do this. So thank you, Melissa, for legit getting this podcast off the ground, because I have no idea about mics and what is that thing called over there? I don't even know. Anyway, I literally can't remember these things. Built-in community, I have that. Not a lot of people don't. And that's why I feel like there is such a large entrepreneurial community on social media, which I absolutely love. And when I started out, I didn't have that. So I really love that the social media has become really niched down when it comes to community building. And entrepreneurs, we have such a huge community online, but it's really hard to find those who you connect with on a specific level for that entrepreneurial journey. I rub people the wrong way sometimes, and that's totally fine. Like that's on me. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to be less rigid. I'm trying to be more like positive and outgoing, because it's a struggle for me as somebody who works alone every day, which we'll get to that. But it's a struggle to find people who you actually mesh with within the entrepreneurial community, because there's so many different avenues. There's so many different ways to be an entrepreneur at this point. And there's so many different ways that people can talk to you in regards to entrepreneurship. And a lot of it is bullshit too. You know what I mean? The toxic positivity that it just permeates freaking entrepreneurship. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to like call out the toxic behavior that sometimes happens within entrepreneurship. Oh, I'm sorry. Like my reaction is the problem, not your actions, but me saying something is the problem. That's why I'm like really blessed to have a built-in community with my family, because sometimes it's hard. It's hard. It really is. It's really hard to navigate the online space and feel safe enough to divulge business information as an entrepreneur, because that is your intellectual property essentially. Whatever you learn as a person and you retain that information is intellectual property. That is your information. You can even be paid for the information but a lot of the times when you're trying to find community and you're trying to connect and link up with other like-minded individuals in the space, a lot of the time they're full of shit. They haven't even done what they've said they've done. And then you're just like, well, shit, now I'm freaking here alone. I'm literally alone here because there's nobody that really understands the journey that I'm specifically going through. And yes, there are communities out there to help you get through that entrepreneurial journey, to help you every single day. And that you just need to find that needle in the haystack that really meshes with you. Because shit, I can call my sisters and be like, what do you think of this? And be like, that is dumb as fuck. And be like, okay, thanks. Or I could be like, hey, what about this idea? They're like, oh my God, that is amazing. You know how many times I've like called, well, not called, but like messaged my mom on Facebook or whatever, because we have like a group chat. Me and my mom and my two sisters all have a group chat, and we like share our pictures of our kids and videos and stuff, but we also talk about business in there. And I'll like message them and be like, hey mom, you should do this for your business. This would fold in perfectly with the Fairy Potter. Right? That's her new business right now, is the Fairy Potter. The Fairy Potter and Pixie Properties. So yes, my mom has that. My younger sister has the Strawberry Fields. My older sister has the Mockingbird Studios. And I have the HC. Oh God. I almost said HC Web Designs. That's when I started back when I was 21. Whoa! That was scary, guys. It just got like thrown backwards for a second into the past. Mine is Heather Cox Codes, which is kind of close to HC Web Designs if you think about it. Because, I mean, HC, Heather Cox, Web Designs. You know what I mean? So, water break. So we're recording differently today also. If you've noticed the difference of the quality of this video. So because of speed of implementation, we record on an iPhone here. I'm recording right now on my iPhone 13 Pro in cinematic. So we're going to see how the cinematic looks when we're utilizing these videos on YouTube and cutting them up into short form videos. So thanks for being here, and let me know if you see the difference in quality from episodes 1, 2, and 3 versus this episode of 4. I just wanted to throw that out there because you guys are amazing and you always give me feedback. So love you guys. But not everybody has that community. And that's why like I really wanted to talk about entrepreneurship today, give you guys some tips on how to start and really and just talk about that community that sometimes we do and do not have. And, you know, I love that I'm recording literally the day before the podcast drops because that allows me to stay up on current events and my podcast will be current when it comes out. That's what I was thinking when I was taking a shower, just saying. But, you know, the other day I was yesterday, the new Taylor Swift dropped. And there's that one song. Oh my gosh, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. That is the anthem. Like literally, she is on Eras tour and she is doing it with a broken heart. Nobody knows that she's fucking miserable as shit, but she's still doing it. She's hitting her marks. Like she is crushing it, and still she's going through it. And I know that she has a great community surrounding her. She would not be where she is without that community, without that help, without those supportive parents, without those fan base, without those close supporters, without her friends, without her family, without Travis, you know. So just that song dropping yesterday really shifted my mental perspective. Because let me tell you, the road to entrepreneurship is hard. It is so hard. It is a daily struggle every day, even if you have a community or not. There's no cheerleaders here. I don't have a cheer section. I don't have people sitting over here going, rah, 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 go Heather, record that podcast, go Heather, record, post, create that content. Now, I don't have anybody doing that for me. My family wasn't always supportive of me. Let's be real. I love my family so much. Again, love, love, love. But, you know, when I first started out, my mom, she was like, I can get you a job at Raymore Flanagan, because she was the manager at that point. She was in between her entrepreneurial career. You know, she stopped the Wallflower, then she went back into retail, and then she was like, meh, I'm better at being an entrepreneur. But for a while, she was like, Heather, I can get you a job. You know what I mean? Like, are you okay on money? Like, how you doing? Like, I can, you know, you don't have to struggle this much. I was like, absolutely not. Never. I knew how it was working for somebody else, and I just did not have the drive or the want to do jack shit when I was working for somebody else. Because why would I help somebody else achieve their goals without achieving mine. I cannot be another cog in the wheel. I cannot be another rat in the race. I cannot. So, for a very long time, I just kept grinding, going. And my family wasn't always supportive, but you just got to kind of put your head down and do it, because you have this gut feeling. You have this gut feeling that it's going to fucking work out. You have this feeling. I had that feeling. I was like, I know one day social media is going to pop off and everybody and their mother is going to be on social media. And now everybody and their mother and grandmother are on social media. Over half of the world's population is on Facebook alone. Let that sink in. You know what I mean? So I knew in my bones that social media was going to take off. And I didn't think it would take off because of a pandemic. I mean, thanks, Miss COVID. I guess silver linings on that one. But, I knew. So, I just kept going. And there was no cheerleading section. There was nobody telling me keep going. Maybe a few of y'all. I will say there are a few of y'all. Like Vincenza, I love you. I love you so much, girl. I've known Vincenza, owner of V&M Bistro, Ice Cream Delight, Success Won't Wait, executive director of Miss Delaware USA, Miss Delaware Teen USA. I've known that girl since high school, and she hired me when literally I maybe had like 2 clients. And she's been with me ever since. She's been with me for, I believe, like a decade now. It's been that long. Yeah. Because V&M Bistro is turning 10 years old soon. Yeah. So, yep. It's been a journey. So a lot of y'all have supported me, and through thick and thin from the jump. Another one of y'all is Fallon. I love you, Fallon. I'm having Fallon and Vincenza on both. Fallon has been through literally ride or die since middle school. I've known her since middle school, and like we haven't always like run through like those same circles and shit growing up, but like she was literally ride or die for me through probably one of the hardest times of my life, and was always there for me and is still always there for me, and I just love her so much. And there's just been so, like literally, like in order for me to get out of where I was, I would go to her house and work in her bed and hang out with her chihuahuas. And we would go to the pool, and I would be working poolside, like literally, like she'd be like, let's hang out. And I'm like, I have to work. And she's like, just work by the pool. And so I would literally be like working by the pool. Like I didn't give a shit if I was like, didn't even get in the pool. I was like, I'm here. I'm hanging out. This is great. I got like 8 hours in by the fucking pool. Like she was always ride or die. So y'all bitches, love you both. And so, it's hard when you don't have that support, when you have those friends and family that don't support you, the secret haters, the ones who love to watch you, but don't show that support and talk shit behind you. Like, no, that is like, ugh, we don't like that energy. We don't like that vibe here. So we're here for lifting up and supporting one another, and not everybody has that. So if you're one of those people, like I want to connect with you. Like I want to cheer you on and support you and be like, yes, let's freaking do it. Yes. Like I want to like, share, comment, post, repost, hugs, love, like DMs, messages. Like I may not post outwardly a lot, but I love talking to y'all on the DM so much. So fucking much. You are all like freaking killer. I love it. But that the community, I think, is what pushes everybody through when it comes to entrepreneurship, but also having that passion. Look, if you're in a cubicle working, look, and if you're making ends meet, like, yes, if you got to do what you got to do it. But if you are on that journey of like, I can't do that anymore, like I need there to be meaning in my life, go for it, man. Find your passion project and turn it. And I know some people say don't turn your passions into profits, but sometimes that's where you have to start. I've always been passionate about computers and technology. I'm such a freaking nerd, y'all. Like I literally went on a journey recently to go find there's this puzzle pack from what was it? It was like the first Microsoft. It was like the first PC that we ever had, or it was like an Apple or something. But they had this entertainment pack from like 1996. I literally have been playing games on the computer, writing things on the computer, making newsletters. I made a newsletter for my aunt in the 6th grade for her church on a freaking Microsoft Word doc. Why? Because I'm a huge nerd when it comes to technology. MySpace was the best thing ever. I learned how to HTML code on there. That's how I know how to do WordPress now and HTML code websites, because of MySpace. Legit changing my background color and putting music on my MySpace page. Oh, y'all know. The freaking millennials, man. Oh my God. But like finding that passion. I was passionate about technology. I'm passionate about speed of implementation and change. Even though I hate changes in my personal life, I fucking hate it so much. It is the hardest thing that I think I have to work through. I have a hard time with change. I have a hard time with transitioning. If something changes on me where it's like, hey, we were supposed to have fish tacos for dinner, but now we're having burgers, I'll like lose my, I'm like, what? And like my brain like can't compute. I feel like I'm like glitching out like a robot, but it's just, I love change in technology. I love the progression of it all because it's a continuous learning experience. And that's what I'm passionate about. My older sister, she's passionate about music. She has been playing music since the age of 13, 14, 15. I think it was 16. I don't know. I know since high school. Very long time. My younger sister has a huge passion for native plants and beautiful landscapes and, just the things that make the world happy and Mother Earth happy and smile. She's passionate about that. And we've all turned our passions into profits and into projects and things that we really love. And that's what sustains us. That's what sustains the drive. Because if you're doing something and you hate it, that's not going to sustain the drive. The drive for money is only going to drive you so far. It's only going to take you so far. You have to be passionate. You have to love what you do. You need to want to wake up every freaking day and being like, this is the freaking day. I'm going to do it. I love what I'm doing. This is not even work to me. I feel like, yes, like I've busted my ass, like every day, grind, go, cry. But it's worth it. In my opinion, you wake up and you feel fulfilled. What is that legacy that you're going to leave? I wish, and I was just on a podcast yesterday. We were recording. It was the Restaurant Technology Guy podcast. And we were talking about legacy and leaving that legacy behind. And what type of legacy do you want to leave behind? And he said that like randomly a YouTube video was uploaded where it was his childhood car being recorded by his grandparents and uncles and aunts as a walkthrough to how this car came to existence. And he didn't even know this video existed until it came across his YouTube and somebody gave it to him and showed it to him. And that's the legacy. How much would you give just to have a video of your great-great-grandparents just somewhere floating out in the ether on the internet, on YouTube? That would be so fucking cool. So like the legacy. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it's the legacy that you leave. That I think is what like boils down to entrepreneurship. Like what legacy are you going to leave behind? That's why I'm so passionate about this topic and talking about it and really going into the black about it, into like the space and in between the lines, because it really is a fascinating discussion, because not everybody's entrepreneurial journey is the same. It's not a straight line. You could be, oh yay, success. It's everywhere. Like it literally, like there's no straight line to success in entrepreneurship. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's experiences are different. And even, I'm going to even go even nicher and say that every women's business experiences are completely different than male experiences in business. And that's why I'm like, because again, I come from a family of women entrepreneurs. We are so passionate about what we do, and it shows. It is all encompassing in our life, and it is a part of us. That entrepreneurial journey is a part of us because we have grown up and watched my mom. My mom had a strong mom. You know, it's just so I find it fascinating because there are no two stories that are alike. And everybody has a story and a journey. But a lot of people don't want to put out their story. I know I didn't. Hi. For a very long time, y'all didn't even know I existed because I hid behind a social media superhero. Legit, my cousin, she drew me a social media superhero so I could hide behind it. So I, myself, Heather Cox, my face would not be online. But then I was like, you know what? Like, fuck everybody else. Legit. I was like, you know what? Like, I am not going to let anybody, and I mean anybody, stop me from being myself. I have had a lifetime of people telling me how to act, to be, to talk, to look, to smile, to everything, how to work, everything. And I let that stop me from putting myself out there, putting my story out there about my entrepreneurial journey, about my struggles. And because of that, I lost a lot of time. And so I feel like that's what I'm doing, making up for it now. That's why you got the podcast. That's why you got dark mode, LinkedIn audios on Thursdays at 11 a.m. EST. That's why I did my TEDx about women in business and entrepreneurship and how, we deal with a different set of struggles and have been dealing with a different set of struggles for a very long time. Like how in 1988, the Women's Business Ownership Act was signed, which allowed women to apply for a loan without a male cosigner. Excuse me? Like I said, a whole different set of struggles, barriers, blockages. And I just think that the entrepreneurial journey is so unique, but it is tough as fuck. You need to have grit. You need to have gumption, gall. You need to have the wherewithal. You need to have, like I said, there's no cheerleaders. Yes, there's cheerleaders who are going to cheer for you online, but no, there is nobody standing next to your bed telling you to get the F up out of bed and go record that podcast or go record that video or go put that proposal in or go with that follow-up email. There is nobody out there that is going to tell you to do that shit unless you pay for a coach. But that coach is not going to be coming to your bedside telling you to get the fuck up out of bed and go work. There's nobody, absolutely nobody but yourself. And if you are lucky enough to have friends that will drive to your house and peel you off the floor, or lucky enough to have a husband who sees your vision, who actually supports you and peels you out of bed and tells you, hey, look, I know it's hard, but you can do this. I literally just had a pep talk with my husband 2 days ago, literally crying at my computer because I literally is so bad in the weeds that I didn't think I was going to make it. And, him just bringing me a smoothie, asking if I want a hug. And, I'm like breaking down in front of my computer screen thinking like, how am I going to get this done? Having that support system is, I think, the biggest thing in the world. You may not have the person to come peel you up off the floor. And if you don't, I could try. I'm here to support. I'm here to help. And I think the only thing that really, my husband's amazing. He picks up the slack so much. He helps with the kids. He sees my vision. Every time I have a guest up in here, everybody meets my husband because he's the one who takes the picture with me and my special guests. So, the support system, and if you're lucky enough to have that support system at your house to peel you out of bed and say, you got this. And sometimes you just got to work through the tears. I was literally working through the tears for probably a good 2 weeks now. Just head down, tears falling onto the keyboard, but just going, working. Don't stop. And I will say, I love listening to music while I work. And listening to specific music actually helps get me out of that freaking mindset, because a lot of the times entrepreneurs have that mindset of, this shit sucks. This isn't going to work. What am I doing? Nobody cares. Like all of just that self-doubt in your brain. That's what kills it. The self-doubt kills the passion. The perfection kills the passion. There's no such thing as perfection. Okay? Numbers, just think of pi. Okay? It's never ending. It just goes, it's not perfect. Okay? There's no such thing as perfection, and perfection is a passion killer. It is a drive killer. But that song, man, I know I'm coming back to it, but that Taylor Swift song, it's so good because literally she's performing her ass off at the Eras tour, but while she is literally miserable as fuck. That is powering through. That is grit. That is show must go on. That is the show must go on. And the show must go on. It must go on. And so when that song came out, I knew I had the vibe. I knew it, and I put it on my stories legit right away. And she's like, I'm miserable. That end part of that song, I could do it with a broken heart. That end part of that song, she's like, I'm miserable and nobody even knows. She sounds legit unhinged. And like, it's perfection, because she's talking about being depressed and sad and crying and not wanting to do it and wanting to give up. But yet she hits her marks. She still goes out there. She fucking slays. And that is what I feel like everybody is going through as an entrepreneur. We deal with the struggles every single day. We cry. We say we can't do it, but we get up. We are our own internal cheerleaders. Be your own cheerleader. Nobody is going to cheer for you. Nobody is going to tell you, great job, keep going. I will. If you know me on TikTok, repeat TikTok soon. But if you know me on TikTok, I'm always up in the new creators comments being like, yes, follow, love, heart, keep going. You got this. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because I know what it's like to be told to stop. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Here are some tips for you to keep going. That's where this whole conversation is leading to. These entrepreneurial tips. Because again, you are your own cheerleader. You must be passionate. You must be your own driver. Nobody is going to come do it for you at all. Number one, find a passion. Turn your passion into profits. Make it something that you love to do. When you wake up every day, you're just like, I'm so happy that I get to freaking do this. And if you still need to go to work and make ends meet and to fuel that passion project, that is going to eventually turn into profits, that's fine. But you need to hustle. I was working. Now, I was very blessed because when I started my business at the age of 21, I did not have kids. I was living with my ex-husband's parents. So for a very long time, I was literally living with parents for the first 8 years of my business. Did not have to pay rent. All I had to pay was a cell phone, insurance, and a car payment. That was it. I was like, all right, I'm just going to make as much money as I can to cover my bills, and then whatever is extra, bonus. And so I had that safety net. Not a lot of people have that safety net. If you need to be working a job to pay your bills, more power to you. But then on the weekends and after work, you're going to have to start working on that passion project. Yes, hours. You must put in the hours. Weekends, nights, overnights, lunch breaks, before work. It needs to be done, because there's no way that it's going to be accomplished unless you save up money, you have enough money to give yourself your own safety net to then go after that dream of being an entrepreneur. You need to have security, because shit, when I was 21, I had that security because I was only 21. Literally. Just like right out of dropping out of college for the third time or some shit. Again, just make sure you have that safety net. If you have a job, you're crushing it. I love you so much. But just work on that entrepreneurial journey after work, before work, during lunch break. Don't piss off your boss, but just work. Number 2, get your socials together. You may not have launched yet, but get your socials together. Get your business name together. Get the branding together. Get the vibe. Get the tone. Get the feel. Get all of that stuff together, because you should have all that together. That in itself is going to position you a lot better when you launch than if it's like, oh, I'm starting my entrepreneurial journey. Found my passion project. I think I'm just going to go on social and just post about it. No, you need to have a game plan on what that entrepreneur journey is going to look for you, what you want to do, what services you want to provide, what the vibe, what the tone, what the logo, what the fonts, what all the things. All the things are all encompassing under that brand. It's more than just font and logo and vibe. It's how you present yourself, how you talk to people, how the tone of voice is, all of it. Shit, I'm very branded. The black and the white. It's all I do. Number one, make sure you know what you want to do. Make sure you put in that work. If it's on the weekends, after your job, if you're just going to go full force, quit that job and whatever. You just need to know what you're going to do. Figure out your passion that's going to turn into profits. My mom, after Raymore and Flanagan, she was like, all right, I got to do something. I'm going to go take a pottery class. Well, now she took a pottery class and now she absolutely loves doing it. And now she has her passion project that she turned into profits. And now it's the fairy potter. What can you do? Do you love jewelry? Do you love beading? Do you love crochet? Do you love pottery? Do you love painting? Do you love large-scale mural installations? Do you love coaching? Do you love yoga? There are so many different things. What do you love? Whatever you love, turn it into a service. Turn it, because only you have that knowledge that is so unique to you that you can become that expert, that go-to person in that specific topic and industry and niche. And then make sure you have a plan. Yes, you have that passion and that creativity, but you also need the tech part of it. You need that plan. You need to write it down. You can't just willy-nilly throw spaghetti at the wall thinking shit's going to stick. And then you're like, oh, try to figure it out that way. No. Name of your business, name of your venture, color scheme, logo, fonts, your vibe, all of that is very important. Community, number 3. That should have been number 1, but community. Find your peoples. I hate saying find your tribe and find your community. Just find your peoples, man. Find the people you vibe with. Find the people who actually cheer you on. There is a lot of just fake ass community out there. I've been in them, believe me. I know. And it's all fake. Find the real ones. It's hard to find on social media, but just find those real ones, man. And I know y'all can do it. I'm one of the real ones. Hit me up. Let's see what else. So we got passion for profits, the tech side, make sure everything's like the project, literally, like make sure it's written out, make sure you plan, and then the community, right? And you don't have to start your own community. Just go find a community. Go talk to people who actually support you back. That is, I think, the biggest key part is finding the people who support you back. You support people all day long, but what about those who want to support you back? Find them. They're out there. From Facebook groups to Instagram groups to TikTok communities with hashtags to LinkedIn groups to local groups, networking groups to mom groups. Dude, what? I love a good mom group on Facebook. The Mod Squad, shout out to y'all. Yo, that is the funniest group. And like they also full of wisdom, and I can post my business in there. And there's like so many like-minded individuals in that group that are local to me. So local groups, that is key. Oh my God, that's been huge. And then just lean on those that you find that are just support you anyway. My husband told me this the other day and I was like, oh yeah, you're kind of right. You don't pick your fans or supporters. They pick you. And I I was like, oh shit. I didn't realize that. I thought I'd be like, hey, let's hang out. Oh my God. And then like some people would be like, no, she's annoying. Oh, I like you, but you don't like me? Oops. That's always been my struggle, man. I like people. And I'm like, I like you guys. You're freaking baller. I love it. But then they don't like me. And I'm like, oh, frick. All right, fine. Now I got to be all sad because now you're gone. Because like, obviously I can't keep y'all around because you don't like me. Just find the peoples that you vibe with, that you mesh with, that you love. And you do it with a broken heart. I know I keep going back to Taylor. I'm not a Swiftie, guys. I'm really not. But like, I really appreciate her strive, her drive, her not giving up, her saying F the system. When she re-recorded all of those albums, get out of here. She won forever with that. And thank you, Kelly Clarkson, for giving her that idea. But it's just do it. You may be crying. You may have tears coming down your face. You may look like shit, but pull yourself up. You got this. And entrepreneurship is not a straight line. It goes all over. It's everywhere. But and there's never an end. If you like endpoints, entrepreneurship's not for you. There's no endpoint to entrepreneurship unless you decide to stop and go enter the rat race in the 9-to-5. But again, even after that, you still have that itch. You still have that little poke in the back of your mind. You're just like, I need to do something creative. And that's what usually happens. Then people like branch out still, even though they have their 9-to-5, and then so again, it's a never end. It's never ending. If you have the entrepreneurial bug and you have grown up wanting to start your own business, go for it, because that drive and that strive is never going to stop. It's never going to let up. You might as well just go for it because you got this. I'm Heather Cox. We're Into the Black today about entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week on April 28th, we are going to have a special guest, Noah Mills, the current reigning Miss Delaware USA 2023. Because on April 28th, 2024, we will be crowning the new Miss Delaware USA, and it is live streamed. You can also get in-person tickets at the door that day on April 28th in Delaware. But next Sunday, we are going to be dropping the Noah Mills interview on Sunday, April 28th. So thank you so much for joining me here on Into the Black, and I will see you next time.